Welcome back to Talk of the Town. Hi, I'm Jackie Lyons. Now, all of us, or at least most of us who live here on Hilton Head, enjoy some sport or another, whether it be golf or tennis or, I don't know, lifting weights. But my guest today, Tim Waz, is with Talmetto Running Company, and he has taken running to an all-new science. Hey, Tim, how are you?
Good, Jackie. How are you doing?
I mean, I'm fascinated, but you moved here specifically to open your new store, which is called Talmetto Running Company.
Correct.
And it's going to be located where, or it is located?
Yep. We're actually located in Plantation Park in Bluffton, South Carolina.
Sure.
If you're coming off of Hilton Head, you're going to go past Simmonsville Road, and we're the next plaza on your left-hand side. We're located just next to Enterprise Rental as well as Colby Steakhouse.
Oh, terrific. Now tell us, why do we need a running store? I mean, I had no idea, but you and I had a few conversations here, and now I'm understanding it so much better.
Well, one of the biggest questions that we get when we get an individual that comes into the store is, what's a good shoe for me? Well, we kind of take that process and take it to the extreme. Basically, we go through a perfect fit procedure where we'll physically start out with an interview. We'll sit down with an individual, talk a little bit about their running history, what kind of races they're going to be doing, really what's their goal, what's their running goal.
Sure.
Then we'll physically do a video gait analysis where we'll get an individual on a treadmill and do frame-by-frame analysis of their running gait. And then we take that even one step farther. We'll physically go and we'll do a free custom foot analysis where we look at your arch type, your structure, and really start breaking down the biomechanics of the individual with their running gait. The running gait is basically, if you think of you're putting your left foot in front of the right, that's all you have to do to be a good runner, but we all do it differently. So we physically want to make sure that we're matching the equipment with the actual individual's biomechanics. So as we're going through the foot balance procedure of physically doing the arch analysis as well as the biomechanics of the individual.
And well, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I did. Tim, you know, I kind of start to understand that the process or the steps that you go through to fit someone prevents injuries.
It does. It does,
and probably gives them more endurance as well.
It does, and one of the biggest things, really wanting to make sure that we're doing is basically trying to keep runners and walkers healthy longer. That way, they actually enjoy the sport that much better. The two biggest reasons why individuals stop running is a lifestyle change. Either somebody gets married, they start having children, they start traveling with work, or secondly, injuries. Our main goal at Talmetto Running Company is try to reduce the amount of injuries basically by getting into the wrong type of shoe. And ultimately, everything that we've talked about up to this point is leading up to what's the right type of shoe for me. Running technical shoes actually come in three basic categories. You've got a neutral, you've got a control, and a structured shoe. As we're going through the actual process of finding out what type of gait you have, how do your biomechanics work? Are you a neutral runner? Are you a structured runner? Are you a controlled runner? Are you an overpronator? These are all the things that answers that original question of what's a good shoe for me.
Right.
So if we get you in the right equipment, you're going to be able to stay on the road running a lot longer.
I mean, so surface is important, obviously, what they're running on, this
Correct.
kind of surface. But I'm not sure I quite understand what you were talking about, what kind of a runner they are.
Sure. Well, as we're going through the actual biomechanics, all of our bodies, basically, our legs are shock absorbers when we're running. Shoes are literally broken down, like I said, into the three categories. We have a couple examples here where this is an example of a neutral shoe, where it's a single density foam straight across. So this is going to allow your foot, as you're running, to basically rotate from side to side. But if you're an extreme heavy pronator where your ankles roll over a lot,
now I know what you're talking
about. Then we want to get you into something with a little bit more structure. So you can physically see the color change between the densities of foam, and this is what's going to slow down some of that pronation. So, you know, really looking at the biomechanics, trying to figure out, you know, do you need a neutral shoe, or are you going to need something with a little bit more control and support?
And we have one more shoe over here.
And this is kind of the middle ground. The middle ground is going to give you a little additional support and a little bit more structure, but at the same time not be as controlling as a structured shoe.
Wow.
So still extremely flexible, but at the same time, you know, give you a little bit more support.
Now, may I lift these?
Yeah.
I want everyone to see these. These are.
This is actually the end of the process as we're going through the actual perfect fit procedure.
Right.
We actually utilize a product that we're very pleased to actually be the sole provider in the Low Country for, which is the Foot Balance custom-made insoles, where we physically go through and we will physically mold an insole to your feet to make sure that we're giving you the maximum amount of arch support as well as a cushion throughout the entire shoe. All the shoe companies out there spend a lot of money and a lot of time designing the sole of the shoe and the
Right.
upper of the shoe. But they want to make sure this shoe fits every single person's foot that puts it in there. So what they do, they put in a
customized.
Yeah, what they do, they put in a very thin, basically non-supportive insole that this is going to fit in every single person's foot.
Right.
Well, what we do, we start out with a very structured insole, which is flat. We put this in the oven. We heat it to over 250 degrees. It becomes very pliable, very flexible. We physically mold it to your feet, so you're going to get that maximum amount of arch support.
Sure.
And once it cools down, it's actually going to retain the shape.
Right.
This is actually my foot, and I have a very long arch. So if I were to put in an over-the-counter type of an insole, it's going to create pressure points. It's going to just give me part of the control. It's not going to give me the entire length of my foot where I need the arch support.
Right.
And once you do that, that creates additional pressure points, going to create other running ailments. And really our goal with the Foot Balance product is to keep your feet in the neutral position in the shoes to give you that perfect alignment
Right.
as you're running.
Let's talk about some of the other products and services that you offer at Talmetto Running Company,
Sure.
such as the apparel.
Yep, we being in the Low Country, weather is a big factor.
Absolutely.
So we do carry a full line of Brooks running apparel, extremely lightweight, very breathable. We do carry a lot of SPF clothing, which actually blocks out a lot of the sun. So we really want to make sure that not only do we have you in the right shoe, but also in the right apparel. So when you're running in the heat of the Low Country, you're not going to overheat and you're going to be able to keep going.
And you also offer hydration and fuel
We do.
apparatus
Correct. Yep.
and equipment?
We do. We carry a full line of fuel belts as well as goo water bottles, as well as handheld units, as well as waist and backpack units.
And also tell everyone about your free fitness
Yeah.
classes.
Every once a month, we actually hold a health and fitness expo. Our first one will actually be on March 9th. Begins at
So that's coming
6:30.
up, yeah.
Yep, a couple weeks. March 9th, we do ask that you RSVP. You can RSVP via email. You can email me at tim@palmettorunningco.com. Basically, we will have running experts, running local experts, if you would. Our very first fitness clinic on the
Right.
9th is actually we're going to feature Kevin Purvis, who's going to come in and he's going to talk about overtraining. Then we also have Eric Cummings, who's the South Carolina president of the Track and Field Coaches Association, will also be speaking that night. So we'll have some industry experts talking big picture about running and training in the Low Country.
And let's just talk a little bit about your programs, your other programs, because I know you have like runs.
We do. Each Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, we hold open group runs out of the store. They are free for everybody to come on out.
It's a great social thing, too.
It is.
I mean, really.
It's extremely great because a lot of people, when they start getting into the sport of running, they have a lot of questions. You think, running left foot, right foot, that's the end. But we do.
My thinking.
But you get a lot of people that have questions about gear, have questions about races, training,
Sure.
etc. So it's just a great way to come out, network with people that love the sport as much as you do. We do all different distances and all different speeds. So if we have a new runner, we're going to pair them up with new runners, as well as have somebody from the store that's going to lead that group from a pacing standpoint. Then we have longer distance runners that travel at a much higher rate of pace. So everybody's got somebody to run with, and nobody's got to do more mileage or go faster than they physically want.
And I also know, Tim, that you now have a racing team that will be competing internationally. Nationally and locally.
Nationally
or
and
regionally.
local. Yep. We're proud to announce, actually, officially last night we kicked off the Palmetto Running Company Foot Balance racing team.
Terrific.
It's made up of 10 male and 10 female local runners
Right.
that will represent the Palmetto Running Company, as well as Foot Balance and our other sponsors, both locally and nationally, like you said.
Well, let's give them your phone number one more time, your website one more time, the name of the company.
Yep, it's the Palmetto Running Company. Our website is www.palmettorunningcompany.com. You can find us online there as well as Facebook and Twitter. Our telephone number is 843-815-1718.
Well, thank you so much, Tim Waz. It was great meeting you. Best of luck with your new business. And folks, we'll see you soon on Talk of the Town.